We broke. We broke. This is a constant refrain among black men today, and I'm here to say I'm officially sick of it. Every time you go online, you hear a black man dishing out his sob story. Now, in my circles, what will happen is black men will come to me saying they are pro-black and they want to build. Anyone can talk a good game, but at the end of the day, it's all talk if you didn't bring resources. So the first thing I ask any black male telling me that they're serious about doing something and frustrated at the state of black society today falling behind other races is, how much money do you have and how much money are you prepared to spend? And typically it ends the same way every time. Oh, TBA, I'm trying to get my money together right now. Oh, TBA, man, money's tight right now. But as soon as I get it together, I'm going to get things popping off. Black men are excellent at running their mouths about what they don't like, but they're pathetic at actually executing anything. And the chief reason for this is that black men do not put down their money for what they claim they believe in. And the rest of the world can see this. And this is why no one takes black men seriously. Black men are always talking about how things need to change, but they get quiet as soon as you ask them how much money they're going to invest in it. This is a problem even among the black men that I myself know. And you would think that most of these men would be on point, but the truth is they're just every bit as much excuse makers that the dusty Negroes at the club are. These brothers aren't unemployed. They're not living on hard financial times, but they have all the same excuses, and it's not hard to understand why. The reason most black men today have no money to spend on getting things done is because most black men today are tricking off their money. Period. Now, most of these guys think it's not tricking unless it's wasting money on a female, and this is a lie. Most of the financial tricking that black men do is with stores, not females. Everyone talks about how much money black women spend on their hair and how fanatical they are about getting their hair done. But black men do the same thing, only they do it for shoes. Black men stand in line for hours like white kids do for new iPhones. They'll come armed to defend their shoe purchase, and it doesn't matter how expensive the shoes are. Black men will find the money to buy them several times a year. It used to be that only women prided themselves on their footwear, but years of being raised by single mothers have produced males with effeminate traits like reserving whole portions of their income to purchase shoes. So it's no wonder you have none to invest. Black men are always asking me for business advice, and once I mention how much investment capital they'll need, they always tell me that they have no money. And yet, when I go to their Facebook timelines, they'll have one giddy buck dancing post after another, bragging about how they're going to go buy the latest PlayStation or Xbox gaming console, and how they got 2 copies of Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty. And then they expect to come to me and tell me that they're flat broke and don't have the money to invest in a business. Black men have become philosophers about examining black society's problems, but they are totally uncommitted to establishing an economic base on which to resolve these problems. And just about everyone else is. This is why black women get far more respect than black men do, because black women will gladly put down money to support the things they believe in. It's gut check time, gentlemen, and someone needs to lay down cold hard facts on you. Tyler Perry is a black man, and yet he spends the majority of his time catering to black women and their hideously bloated, arrogant, self-absorbed, and thoroughly undeserving egos. And the reason he does it isn't because it's the path of least resistance. It isn't because he's brainwashed or he's gay. It's because when he was living out of his car, he made up his mind to go where the money was. And black men are always eager to talk a good game, but when it was time for customers to put down money to see his plays, it was the women who filled up those seats. Tyler Perry had found his audience, so we can't blame him for sticking with the one who brought him to the dance. That's just real life. We can talk about how messed up black women are and how they have an entitlement mentality and are always wanting someone to give them something for nothing, but the truth is black men have just as big an entitlement mentality. But what makes black men even worse is how we don't even invest our resources. And there is no reason that someone like Tyler Perry or Wayne Brady is going to go against the grain and cater to a black male market that really isn't there. But that's not the only reason. The other problem with black men is that they don't believe in paying what something is worth. We'll pay $200 for a $12 pair of shoes, but we won't pay $1,000 for information that will help us start our own business and make millions. We try to find the cheapest way to do everything rather than finding the best way to do everything. And other black men around us can see that. Recently, I had posted online how I get offers from people who want me to personally coach them in public speaking and communication. Most public schools have classes on public speaking, but if your teacher isn't a great public speaker already, how can they teach you how to be a great public speaker? They can only make you mediocre at best. This is why paying for someone's time who knows what they're doing can make all the difference. Well, immediately thereafter, someone jumped up and proudly proclaimed that people can go to Toastmasters because it's, quote, free and effective. And I couldn't help but think it's only among a group of black men that something like that could ever occur. If you have a car accident and you go to a Middle Eastern, Asian, or Jewish lawyer, when you tell him you're injured, is he going to refer you to the cheapest doctor? Or will his priority be to refer you to a Middle Eastern, Asian, or Jewish doctor? That's not to say the doctor will be bad, but they understand the kind of service someone they know will give to their client, and they understand that their practice depends on how well they practice group economics. They don't engage in business practices that are not mutually beneficial. And of course, the most obvious lesson, you would never go into a Chinese restaurant telling all the customers there how much better and cheaper the food is at the Mexican restaurant. That's basic business etiquette that tells you that you don't go into someone else's business advertising for their competitors. But black men will do it every day. This basic instinctual reflexive response is totally absent among black men, and it's this kind of aloofness that leads you to the basic conclusion that black men just don't get it. They have no idea what money is for. They have no idea how to use it. They have no concept of what building an economy is. They have no clue how to practice group economics, and they don't even understand what the basic rules of conduct for building an economic base are. This is why men like Tyler Perry do business for black women and not black men. This is why men like Barack Obama cater to white homosexuals and not black men. This is why black men like Jay-Z won't even consider stopping doing business with bigoted outlets like Barney's in New York, even as they merrily have black people arrested in their store for trying to be customers. Black men have not provided these men with a viable alternative. As Kanye West is finding out now, you can't start a business with men who will only offer excuses for why they have no money. You can only start a business with people who offer resources, not excuses. They say that we get the kind of government we deserve. Well, black men are getting the kind of economic status they deserve. You might not be tricking your money off on Shaniqua, but it doesn't make it any better that you're tricking it off on Bill Gates and the Xbox. Black men need to discover what it means to have priorities. We need to understand that money is used for the purposes of gaining more money, not for buying toys. We need to grasp and adhere to the concepts and principles of group economics, and we need to put our money where our mouths are and be generous with other black men when it's time to spend money with each other. Remember, being broke isn't what makes you a trick. It's what you wasted your money on that got you broke in the first place that makes you a trick.